name is Shalakemia Moffitt, and my organization is I'm Shalakemia.
Hey, it's Kellen, and today on Diversified Game, if you are ever down, ever need some motivation, especially for you men, especially for you Black men, where you might go to work, hear it from your boss, come home, hear it from the family, and everybody's pulling from you, look in the description and check out Miss Moffitt, the queen of motivation. I say especially for Black men only. I think that's what the book said. But
Yeah,
welcome to the show, Queen Moffitt. How
thank
you
you.
doing?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm blessed.
You are definitely blessed. And when anybody has like motivation, the way you do it, your dedication to it. I know you have over 1 billion views on social media and a strong YouTube that
Yeah.
you don't bless it enough because YouTube is a drug addict and it wants something every day, right? But it's popping. But can you tell people, you know, why you do what you do? Because I read and I saw that, you are a suicide survivor. You did have a brain tumor, which is nothing to sneeze at. Thank God for that. And
Right.
so out of a big, test, you can tell the testimony and help others. But when did it start for you, to do it? Was it online? Was it in person? Give us the game on the beginning.
I believe it was when I was really going through a lot with the symptoms of my brain tumor. And it put me in like a depressive state, while trying to, our plan was to shrink it. And I told myself when I get, to that point, where I'm not 100% better, but I'm almost there, that, I'm going to use what I have down on the inside of me, just my testimonies, just the things that I've been through in battle to help other people. Because that was one thing that I wanted along my walk. I'm like, I don't want no money from nobody. I just would appreciate some encouraging words, and just knowing that someone, has my back throughout the process. So I said, I feel like I didn't really have that, so I'm going to give that. So it was once I got a little better and the doctor told me that I was in remission, that I just kind of hit the ground running, and took what I had on the inside of me to encourage and empower, you know other people.
You now in remission. What are the effects on the body from somebody whose mother, battled and fought for years with cancer and it eventually went to the brain? Like, that is scary. Like,
Yeah.
it's scary to hear cancer, period, anywhere. Why you Black men have to go get your colonoscopy. I did it, y'all. It's okay. You'll survive. Prostate, got to do it. Find a doctor with small hands, a cute one at that. But can you talk about, you know, does that, like, do you think about that every day, or how can you get over not worrying about that every day?
My tumor wasn't cancerous. Thank God. There were still some, complications with it. Um, to be honest with you, God, that's how I got through it. God, prayer, you know, I would have other people that have the same tumor I have, like, Shalakemia, how are you smiling today? I can't even get out of bed this week. And I tell them, God, it's I have to give them all the credit. That's what pulled me out of that dark space.
And I love the answer, but there's people who they say, man, but I don't believe. And sometimes people don't believe until they're going through it, and whatever that it being. um and the fact that you are, you heal, thank God for that. When is the tour for, the motivational tour for that? Because there's a hospital in every city,
Right.
that kids are dealing with the same thing you're dealing with. sometimes even worse, and because it is cancerous for them. So
Right.
you're doing a lot of talking online, but I already see the TED Talk. I can envision it if it hasn't happened. Yeah, you let me know. Maybe I missed it, but I was researching. But are there any plans to tour or motivate in person now that COVID, we hope is normalized or stabilized?
Right, absolutely. I'll be going on tour soon, and I'll be announcing those dates, very, very soon, and I'm excited about it, just because of, how people are empowered, just online. And just imagine if we're all in a room together, and I'm able to, be able to just be in that room with people, have other people with me. And I want people to leave from an event with me empowered and inspired and encouraged, like, they've never been before. And I think that you kind of gave me an idea, you know, um, to kind of visit hospitals, and share my story and love on some people. So I think that I'm going to do that.
Okay, okay. Now tell the people, because they hear tour and the next thing, when and where,
Yeah.
so some folks can hear that accent and say, where's that from? But let them know where you represent, because that accent you can recognize around the world.
Yeah, I'm actually from Pennsylvania. I'm right outside of Philadelphia. And a lot of people, they're like, you from up north or you from Louisiana? And I'm like, no, I'm definitely from Pennsylvania. Born and raised. I did live in Georgia and go to school in Georgia, a little part of my life, but Pennsylvania is definitely my roots. But I'm I'm
Okay, okay.
thinking about I'm thinking about doing a tour early 2024.
Okay. And would it start, would you think, does charity start at home, or is a profit not respected at home? So you got to leave home to really get it cracking and then come back like a Kevin Hart and so many others, uh,
Um, it's ironic. I just told someone that, last night. Yeah, you 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 definitely have to, branch out, and then come back home, you know. So that's definitely what I'm gonna do. I already been putting it together. It's a 5 city tour. We might add some cities just depending on how things go, but I'm excited about it.
and I was listening to that conversation. Sorry, one of my jobs that gives me access to be able to hear. It's a gift. I try not to abuse it. But now you are a business coach.
Yes.
And sometimes people might think, oh, well, her business then has to be just motivation, and so. But tell them what the side of the business coaching, what you love to do, because we might take money from who, this person and that person, but where do you think your focus and forte is in your business coaching?
Yeah, I specialize in, up and coming entrepreneurs. I specialize in the people that don't know the first thing about starting a business, but they have an amazing idea, or they have an amazing product or amazing service. And that's my niche. Have I worked with, people on, already established Fortune 500? Absolutely. I've even dabbled in some politics, with branding some people running for office, which has been exciting. I've worked with I worked on the campaign when they turned Georgia blue. Worked with some governors, some commissioners. So, it's definitely been exciting, but, my passion is definitely to help that entrepreneur that does not know, the direction to go in. That's definitely my passion.
And talk about working with the in politics. Man, they need somebody like you, because it's just such a, on every side and in the middle, a dirty game. How
Yeah.
do you find yourself to keep purity? Not to say that I'm not saying, trying to put the sainthood on you, but we're all going for it. We'll fall short, but like
Mm.
your arms say, you are blessed. That's a tattoo, y'all, that she has on her arm. uh but how do you stay sane in Satan's playground in politics?
One thing about Shalakemia, I work amazing under pressure, but I don't just work with anybody. I've had a lot of people reach out to me, wanting to work with me as far as their campaign goes. But I like to work with genuine people. I like to work with people that are for the community and for the people. Not just people that's sitting up here, selling people a bunch of bull. I don't like that. I'm a person that, I work very closely, in the community as well, not in politics, but, I see what people go through in the community. And we need people in those type of positions that want to bring some positive change, to be able to help our people. So, that's just my thing. I can tell when someone's genuine or not with their running campaign, if they're really doing it for the people or if it's just for the position. If I feel like it's for the position, I won't work with them. I won't have anything to do with anything like that.
And let this be a teachable moment, because there would be people who say, oh man, I wanted to do that too, and okay, she looks and she sounds like me. And Kelly, you say she has a tattoo? No, she has multiple tattoos. It's not just one. But you can only, I can't tell you everything. You might have to get to know her for yourself. But can you talk about the how do you go about in getting this type of work? Because a lot of people see on the internet, they read, oh, you can go after your government RFPs and become a millionaire overnight. We wish it was that easy. Or there's always a campaign every 2 to 4 years, whether it's locally or on the national stage. How do you go about maybe they call you and you don't have to pitch yourself?
Yeah, I don't pitch myself. It's really word of mouth. Someone, may call me and say, hey, this person's looking for branding, or, this person just sometimes I'm like that image person as well. So I never pitch at all. It's kind of like they reach out to me or a mutual reaches out to me, and I come in and try to help, how I can, because that's what I guess I'm kind of like a fixer, and things like that. So I come in and see, where I can be, you know, helpful at, and we just kind of, go from there.
I had a guest on, Raynard Jackson, who is a political consultant, lobbyist, fixer, done it. When I
Yeah.
tell people I've done something for 20 years in this game, he's done it, possibly double, right?
Mm,
And it's the same story. We're not
yeah.
going to people asking for help.
No.
You're coming with a real bag. So when you tell people, no, I don't want to do that for that, especially for that
Right.
amount of money, sometimes people right now, if they're starting their stage, are like, how do you get work? How do you get business? Even older people might look at you, how do you get work? You don't look like your typical fixer, whatever that means. I don't know what that
Yeah.
means, but I've heard it all. Even we need more Black PR. Old white man told me that. I said we need more niggers too. I was at I was at an interesting big event. I won't throw their name out there, but
Mhm.
you know, did you find that that work was kind of just a natural fit? So you networked your way into just getting known by the right people, or maybe you had an aunt or a mother who was maybe in that arena who said, "Hey, my baby can do that work."
Um, no, actually, it's really just word of mouth with me. I may have somebody from the Democratic Party to say, hey, this person running is a little struggling, they got a good, vision, but they're a little bit struggling. And that's where, I come in. But yeah, it's all networking. It's all, word of mouth. I do little marketing when it comes to my business coaching, and everything is word of mouth. Like, hey, Shalakemia helped me, start my business. She did this, she did that, and that's just how it goes.
And when she says a little, y'all, I truly want to say, yeah, it is. Because when I was looking for you on LinkedIn, I couldn't find you. And I said, how is she not on LinkedIn? But everybody has their platforms, and I
Yeah.
get it. But I was like, hold on, so might need to see this. Because you say Democrat Party, I'm an independent because I'm voting Black. I'm voting my
Okay.
interest. I'm voting my,
Right.
how much tax I pay, and whatever party is in
Mm-hmm.
line with that. That's who I'm
Yeah.
rolling with. Because when you start paying y'all what some people make in a whole year in tax, you start
Mm-hmm.
thinking, hold on, who's looking out for me? Why am I paying
Yeah.
this? I want to pay for the roads, but I don't want to
Right.
pay for folks sitting at home doing nothing, across
Right.
the board.
Right.
Um, you know,
Absolutely.
so the business coaching, I love that, man. I love that. Do you find it ever, when you talk about marketing that side of the business, there's so much in that, in
Yeah.
fixing, in consulting, that you can't even share because that's somebody's personal business,
Yeah.
um and you can't write about. So how do you kind of decompress and get that, like, that stuff you can't even talk about because you might have rescued somebody from the bar for the 11th time?
Um, you know what? Some one thing when I talk to people, because I'm gonna tell you something. My motivational speaking has really overpowered, my business coaching. So it's more of, it's like I love business coaching, don't get me wrong. But right now, I don't know if you know, but I am starting an academy. And it's for people to be able to be hands-on, because I can't be in 1,000 places. So I need to make sure that people have access to what they need for their business. So I'm starting an academy that'll be coming this summer. But it's like I'm really pulled on the motivational speaker side. But I always ask people, like, if you don't want me to share your story, I never share names. But if you don't want me to share your story, I can't, and most people are like, yeah, just don't say my name, or some people might put it in the comments. But I hear some pretty interesting things. And a lot of my content will come from that. So I feel like I'm getting more pulled in that direction. Which is, a great thing. It's a great thing. But some stories are unbelievable. I will say
Oh, oh yes, fresh out, straight out of a movie. That's how we know,
that.
art imitates life, or life imitates art. Just
Yeah.
depends on how much you know. Um,
Well,
Talk about, for those grinders who want to, really grind it out, and want to be in that grinding royalty. Talk about your academy, and also talk about cost points, because our folks love free 99. And
yeah.
you may have something for free 99, that's called social media, but you put some sweat into this academy. So I think y'all need to pay, even if she offers it for free. Just like church, you can always put something in the plate.
Yeah.
So yeah, talk about that.
Absolutely. It started out as a university, and I think I've been running for maybe 2 years. And I was fighting, so bad to use the word university. And I'm not going to say I lost the fight. I'm going to say, when I sat at the table, it was like, listen, you can't use university, but you can use academy. So I'm like, okay. So, I'm changing over now. I have great price points. This is it's so affordable. I've made this academy so affordable. Nobody can fail. Absolutely nobody. I'm not selling courses for $1,000. I'm not even selling for 500. Not even $100. So I'm telling you, all my products are so affordable. And then I make it to where they can have a payment plan if they want to. But it's going to offer information from starting your business, from getting money. Money is the biggest factor with people, with starting a business. And I have a lot of successful clients that have got grant money they don't have to pay back, that they have bought storefronts with, they bought company vehicles with, they bought inventory. I mean, just imagine having a great idea, great business idea, and you may not have the money to back it, but you believe in the idea, and then you get a grant for $5,000. I got a client that got $10,000 plus a whole bunch of brand new Apple equipment. So it's like people have to apply themselves, and people want to be the CEO and they want to be the entrepreneur, but some people don't want to put that work behind it. And those are the people, they're not for me, because I'm going to have all the tools and resources accessible for my clients to be able to be successful. but people have to apply it.
Like anything, like people want to be in relationships, want to be,
Right.
even friendships, but don't want to put the time in, don't want to call somebody till you need something.
Right.
And it's a crazy time we in. And I'll tell you, that's why when I check out your content and as positive you were, and you appear to be, and your business may be private and we can keep it like that. But I said, okay, she's single, because I'm always critical of when I see people, and you guys know, I know influencers, I know some of the best and brightest, and consulted with some of them. Some are no longer here. For those who know, they know. But I get funny when I see single people talking about
Mm,
relationships they're not in, and I get funny about broke people talking about money, because we know every influencer who says they're in a plane is just
right.
renting it for an hour. And when you
Exactly.
know these people, you're like, you're broke and you're really trying to sell some game. You on Clubhouse all day, with some jewelry and toolery and flash that you don't
Yeah.
even own or is not even real. And it's like, stop, para, papi, tira la puerta. You ain't got to
Um,
do all that.
right. I mean, people say that all the time, like, Shalakemia, you ain't married. How you gonna come and give us advice? And I could understand why somebody could feel like, well, how somebody single gonna give us relationship advice? But I think that's the wrong mindset to have. Because just because I'm not dating every man that, asks to take me out on a date, or I'm not entertaining every man that tries to talk to me, that doesn't mean like I'm just single because I'm undateable or I'm unlovable. That doesn't mean that. That means that I want to be in a relationship that's meaningful. That means that I don't just want to be with someone and we're just wasting time. You see what I'm saying? I have goals when it comes to relationship. I would like to be in a relationship that ends in marriage. I don't want to, like a lot of people do, sit around and entertain someone because I'm bored. I'm not the type of person. I'd rather be single until I meet my person, and share those best parts of me with him, but you have to understand on this journey, I prayed, I want to say maybe 8, 9 years ago, I was in a long-term relationship that wasn't going anywhere. And I had to be, I loved him, and I had to explain to him, like, we're going in two different directions. We want, two different things. We're not going anywhere, and that's when I had to walk away from the relationship. And then I had to go into my season of singleness. And then I had to pray and say, God, I want to be a wife, you know? And with that type of prayer, you can't just sit around looking pretty. You got to do the work. I did the
And, but
work.
but let me tell the people, your content isn't even about it's about love and really
Yeah.
loving on people. And even that
Mhm.
video you had with the brother stopping the it was probably all staged, but he wasn't playing and he was about to go in his back pocket. Like, your content is different, so that's why I liked it, because it wasn't trying to give advice. It's like, I love you is what it is. I love you as a
Yeah.
people, not for what you could do for me. So your content is different. And I
Right.
tell you, we bring and set up tours, and we brought, various groups to Africa. I need
Mm.
1, maybe 2 weeks, because you got to take your time. The bride
Right.
price is going to fall. Them pearls, they're going to be, Africa's waiting for you if you haven't been, because America, it's almost like marriage. People are joking with marriage, but you go to a Colombia, you
Yeah.
go to an Africa, you go even to the Asia. People ain't playing.
Mhm.
Sometimes you can't even get divorced because you married into families. Families are
Right.
intertwined, and marriage is
Right.
business. And people who want to
Mm.
debate that, if you got 15 plus years in the game of marriage and 20 years in a relationship, you can come to debate it with somebody who's in it, right? Because this is a business,
Mm.
and business is great. It's better than good. And it ain't easy though. Man, it ain't easy. Can you
Right.
talk about, like we've talked about it through this whole interview, but maybe
Yeah.
I might have missed something. Can you
Mhm.
talk about a community give back that you are doing, or one that you would like to do in the future?
I think my biggest community give back is feeding the homeless. Feeding the homeless, being able to help people transition from, being homeless, to getting back on their feet. That's a big passion of mine. Another passion of mine is people that were incarcerated, coming home and changing, and having better opportunities, have resources, and have guidance how it should be set up, but it's not set up like that. I've worked in corrections for a very long time. Um, and not only just worked in corrections, just on a whole nother level, just giving people that support, in the resources to succeed in the community, because I think that's what the system should be there for. That's I wouldn't even call it a give back. That's a passion of mine, to see people in just a better situation with better opportunities and just better overall for themselves. Um, and the walk has been amazing. It has been amazing. I have worked with people that have got their children back. I have worked with people that are now they're entrepreneurs, now they're doing good, they went back to school. That's what I like to see in the community with our people, not us judging each other because we fell on a hard time or we made a mistake, but how can we jump in and use our gifts to help our people in the community be better? Like them, succeeding is enough for me.
No, I love it, and we have similar. You worked in corrections, working with people. Every fixer, consultant, PR person I met somehow wants to help people, has a passion for
Yeah,
it, and this is just one avenue that you're able to do it and get paid for it to make a living. Some folks, going to the pulpit. Some of us ain't ready for that because it'd be all type of you can't say that, you can't do that,
yeah,
and all and you don't want to be judged, but you can do your part, and everyone has a purpose. Talk about your book. You guys can't get it on Amazon yet. There may be a method to the madness, but tell the people where they can get the book. Is it an audio book? Because for those who say, "Well, I can't read," or "I don't read,"
right.
or "Can you tell me a bedtime story to go to sleep?" type thing. Give them some game on the motivation of the book and where they can get it.
Yeah, it's definitely anything I put out there right now is audio. And I do audios because I'm a motivational speaker. And a lot of times people don't have time to read or they just don't read. So I make sure audios that people can listen to anytime, like for example, Black Men Only. Black Men Only has been my biggest seller. It's powerful, it's short, it's amazing, and it has like the best reviews ever. So all my audios can be found on grindandrolluniversity.com until we transition over. But it's an audio that people always have access to. Also have a popular audio called "Can I Be Your Best Friend?" So I think I have like 100,000 best friends, and that's okay. But these are audios that like are healing, and it's something that that we need. A physical book will be coming out soon. It'll be an audio version as well, because I understand a lot of people listen to me when they're in their car, or from their phone or just relaxing, things like that. So that's why I want to keep it audio, but I'm also going to come out with a paper book as well.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And I can hear somebody saying, "Kelly, you go back to that Africa thing. When is she gonna come? What's the bride price start at?" Well, she got freckles, so you got to add on to that. So just save up, and she'll let you know. Go subscribe to everything that she's on. Um, when you go and you're growing, especially with social media, sometimes people get success overnight. You definitely put in your time. um, how have you managed working your team? This is that last teachable moment, y'all, because you don't have to go pay her for the next set of game. But how have you, in growing your team, from your graphic, your website, to your designer, to I didn't have to go through a publicist or a manager, and I thank God I didn't, because they get nervous sometimes and I hit. They think I'm gonna steal a client, but they don't know. What's for me is for me. What's for you is for
Right,
you.
right,
You know,
absolutely.
yeah, but
Um,
talk about in growing the team, because these social media outlets start sending, money. You got money here on the social, you got money in real life, you got money from the books. How has
yeah.
it been growing that team?
Um, I am the team.
You are the team.
I'm the team.
Okay.
You're looking at the whole team. Um, I have been starting to outsource graphics. I'm a graphic designer as well, but I can't do everything. So I have been outsourcing and working with some amazing people when it comes to rebranding. So I have outsourced that. Everything else, I am the team. Um, and to be honest with you, I'm blessed because every dime that I made from an audiobook went back into the community. And people are like, how? How are you surviving? And I'm like, I'm blessed. I'm favored. But every single dollar from the audiobooks went back into the community, feeding the community, clothing, the community. Helping however in the community that, I'm able to help. That's what that money went towards. And I'm
Well,
proud
that's
to
a that's a blessing. I get it, because I tell people, when you even write books, it's not for today's money, it's really for tomorrow. But what you do and how you invest. We have a publishing company, and I like even write children's books about my kids' travels, because that's what our
Mhm.
thing. And it's like, that's y'all money. So whatever that money that comes in, because I tell people it's not a get rich. Even if you get a deal with Penguin, ask
Yeah.
John Acuff when he got his deal and his bestseller, when he was rocking with
Mhm.
Dave Ramsey. Read his book. The man said, I got 30,000 and maybe left home with about 13, if I got that correct. Yeah, I was still working. So, but it's still a
Mhm.
bestseller and all that. So you guys, I get through the fluff on this podcast. I don't like the fluff. I don't like you can get rich if you got a Turo player, Airbnb, max out your credit cards. This is real game people can
Yeah.
use. And not to get you guys confused, but the next thing I need you to do, I need you to go check out her platform on Instagram, on YouTube, and everywhere else. She'll be in her own Web3 metaverse soon. But give them the game and let them know where they can follow you, how they can follow you, how they can subscribe. And I thank you for coming on.
Absolutely. My name is I'm Shalakemia. You can find me everywhere: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, even TikTok, with just at I'm Shalakemia. In the university, it's grindingroyaluniversity.com, soon to be grindingroyalacademy.com. But we'll announce that soon. And I'm excited. I'm excited about this.
You guys have been blessed by the game. Make sure, if you do nothing else, you share this with somebody. It will change their life. Be blessed, y'all.
Thank you.
Let me get up the jet. You thank you. Let me get up the Jesse Jackson hot mic.
Hi guys, I'm Kai Gabiam from the Diaspora channel, a lover of Africa. If you love Africa as well and you would love to visit one day or to relocate to Africa, there is a course out there for you. And this course is My First Trip to Africa, a course well put together by a seasoned traveler, Kellen Cash Coleman. This course is designed to prepare you to travel better, which will save you both time and money. And the great news is this course costs only $20, guys. It can't get any better. Go right now and enroll to this course at www.diversifygame.com. Don't miss out.
Are you tired of the rat race in America? Are you ready to visit the motherland to relax and rejuvenate? Are you ready to explore all that Africa has to offer? Then check out the brand new Diversified Game Academy course, Prepare for My First Trip to Africa. Are you worried about being able to afford the trip? We got you. We will show you how to travel either on a budget or as a baller. Learn how to stress the value of the USD. Did you know that 100 United States dollars is worth over 1,000 South African rand, or 10,000 Kenyan shillings, or 54,250 West African CFA? Are you worried about taking your kids? Get the game from Kellen Cash, a bona fide world traveler, having traveled to almost 20 countries, several of those in Africa. Get the game on taking your kids on their first trips. Learn how to find the best tickets, get the visas, and plan your own adventures in Africa. Don't let Eddie Murphy have all the fun. Plan your own coming to Africa trip starring you, produced by you, and featuring you. If you are ready for a life-changing experience, sign up for our course today, Diversified Game Academy. Get prepared and purchase at diversifiedgame.com.